everyone. My name is Ebony Young, and I am your host for this webinar. It's titled 4 Ways to Take Charge of Your Health and Living to Tell About It. This webinar is also brought to you all in partnership with my PR capstone client, Nightingale Apps, and the Know My Patient application.
As I stated before, I'm going to be your host for this webinar. And so, just to give you a little background about me, healthcare is currently my bread and butter. I am a nationally registered paramedic with flight medicine and critical care training. I am currently contracted under the Department of Defense, working as a paramedic with the United States Air Force. So this webinar is pretty much just my limited expertise on what I've seen and how to teach people how to become their own patient advocates. So, the purpose of this webinar is to teach healthcare providers, parents, and patients what questions to ask when they're experiencing a health issue or an emergency. It's also important to teach when and where to seek help for symptoms. I also want you guys to learn how to better cope with the news of a diagnosis. Learning how to start a healthy dialogue after receiving news of a diagnosis or a medical problem. I also want to provide some information on how to make an informed choice about your healthcare, including how to find professionals that are understanding and attentive to your needs. Now, I'll provide some resource information on how to manage your health. And most importantly, how you all can play an active role in preventing patient safety errors. To start, I'd like to play a video of Oprah giving a speech to the Stanford Graduate School of Business in 2014. She has a pretty important message about why it's important to take care of yourself.
The truth is, you don't have anything to give that you don't have. So you have to keep your own self full. That's your job. One of my daughters is here today from Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy. Stand up today so everybody can see you. You're going to end your first year soon. Oh my God, it's first year. I say to my girls all the time that their real work is to figure out where your power base is and to work on the alignment of your personality, your gifts that you have to give, with the real reason why you're here. That's the number one thing you have to do, is to work on yourself and to fill yourself up and keep your cup full. Keep yourself full. Now, I used to be afraid of that. I used to be afraid, particularly for people who say, oh, she's so full of herself. She's so full of herself. And now I embrace it. I consider it a compliment that I am full of myself. Because only when you're full, I'm overflowing. My cup runneth over. I have so much to offer and so much to give. And I am not afraid of honoring myself. It's miraculous when you think about it. First of all, for me, my father and mother never married. They had sex one time underneath an oak tree because she was wearing a poodle skirt in 1953. And my dad, to this day, says, I want to know what's under that skirt. That's what I want to know. He wanted to know what was under the skirt. They didn't really have a relationship. She wanted one, but, he went under the skirt and that was it. And one time under the oak tree, bam, renaissance.
Well, Miss Bourne, it happened there.
That's how I know my life is bigger than that. My life has to be bigger, as yours is, bigger than a noodle skirt. It's much bigger. The design, the reason why I'm here is much bigger than, I think I want to see what's under there. So the ability to take care of that, to honor yourself and that which is greater than yourself, that which was the reason for your being here. That there's no selflessness in that. Because only through that do you have the ability to offer yourself, your whole self, your full expression of who you are to the rest of the world.
So Oprah's message here goes beyond just generally taking care of yourself. She's talking about self-care, which includes taking charge of your health. You are your own patient advocate. So, one of the first ways to take charge of your health is by self-recognition. It's really as simple as understanding that no one knows your body the way that you do. If something seems off, or it seems wrong, or out of the ordinary, make sure you investigate. Most of the time, it could be nothing, but then in the event that some disease process is taking place in your body, early capture by self-recognition is a game changer. Some symptoms that may not seem like nothing, but are common telltale signs of something larger at play include any type of chest pain, whether at rest or during exertion. Any shortness of breath or wheezing, again, whether at rest or on exertion. Palpitations. So this one, there are a lot of smart devices doing a pretty decent job at monitoring heart rates of individuals. So this is also a way to self-recognize if something is wrong. I know Apple just rolled out a new update where it will actually diagnose your cardiac rhythm. Now, I haven't had much playtime with this to see how accurate it is, but if it's telling you something's wrong, it's better to be safe than sorry and just go ahead and get checked out. So some other symptoms that are important to pay attention to are any dizziness or fainting episodes, any numbness or weakness on one side of your body, any cough or cold symptoms that just don't seem to get better after a significant amount of time, any frequent or intractable headaches, and this just means nothing makes these headaches better. No medications that you try, no amount of rest or anything. These are very important to get checked out. Any abdominal pain or bowel changes with frequent loose stools or frequent constipation. Any high fevers greater than 100.3 degrees. Any alterations in consciousness or frequent confusion or memory loss. I know a lot of times, we blame this on just being busy or just being tired or just general old age, but this is also a very important symptom that something larger could be at play. So, particularly for females, you want to look out for any abnormal bleeding or any abnormal pains. And another important thing with self-recognition, time is very essential. Okay, a lot of these symptoms, they are very time sensitive because if you don't address them in the right amount of time, they can progress to worser things. So it's important not to wait until it's too late for you to receive help. Another important concept is choosing where to go. So, unlike in the past, today we have many options to choose from. One thing we can do is something called teledocs. So this allows you to video conference with a physician or a healthcare provider without ever leaving your home. These are really great if, you just need to get a prescription refill or you just have a general medical question. Anything that's not life-threatening. So we also have walk-in clinics now. And these are things such as like minute clinics at CVS, and I believe Walgreens also offers a service. And they're pretty much very quick and they're convenient, and you can use them for just generalized testing, like maybe checking your blood sugar or your cholesterol levels. So they offer a cheaper solution over going to your primary doctor or going to an urgent care or going to an emergency room. But it's important to know that they are very limited on what they can address. So we also have our primary doctors, or our PCP or PCMs, depending on how your insurance refers to them or how your local healthcare system refers to them. So these are people who we select personally to take charge of our health. Okay? So they're really great about long-term management. However, the convenience of receiving a timely appointment may not always be there given the onset of symptoms. Some places are really good about walk-ins or same-day appointments. Some may not be as flexible when it comes to things like that. So this then brings in the option of urgent cares. They have all the comfort of a primary doctor's office, but with some similar capabilities of a standalone ER. So they're great as long as you aren't experiencing any life-threatening conditions, because they aren't prepared to treat some conditions. They are, however, able to do blood work and x-rays and generalized testings and give you some supplemental treatments to just get you through. And then finally, we have the big one, the emergency rooms. So one important thing to understand when choosing an emergency room to go to is that they are not all equal. And by this, I mean some specialize in trauma better than others. Some have excellent cardiac and stroke teams, while others may just be standalone ERs. So I've mentioned standalone ER before. So this just means that they're able to treat you and they're able to stabilize you, and then they transfer you. They don't have the capability to house you and provide a continuation of care. So the main thing is it's important to know what's available in your area and which facility can address your healthcare needs. Cost may also play a role in choosing where to go. However, I must caution, there is no price tag worth more than your life. If there's an emergency with sense of impending doom, make sure you go to your nearest ER. For all your other needs, if at any time you're unsure where to go, you can contact Nurse Advice Line, explain your symptoms, and they will direct you where to go from there. Most Nurse Advice hotline numbers are provided via an insurance provider. You can also quick Google numbers if you don't have anything else available around you. In the event that someone does not have insurance, they're always welcome and advised to go to their local ER. So I just want to make everyone aware that there are laws in place where no one can be refused care because they lack insurance. Self-monitoring is also a really big topic to discuss when you're talking about taking charge of your health. So self-monitoring is a process of knowing there are symptoms now related to your existing conditions that you need to be aware of. So one thing I want to point out is that there are excellent applications now available on App Store Market and the Google Play Store that do things such as track your daily blood sugar level, they track your blood pressure, they notate your blood type, they track your heart rate, what you eat, how much you consume, how many calories you burn. They even have alarms to notify you when to take your medication. The list of these features goes on and on and on, and some of them are really, really great. So it's important to find a product or a technique that works for you on how to track how you feel from day to day and how your symptoms are presenting. And when I say technique, some people may not be tech oriented. These apps are really great, but if tech isn't the way you need to go, then make sure you go analog. Pen and paper does fine, just the same. So as I stated before, the amount of The amount of apps, including the Know My Patient application, which is available in the product line of my Capstone client, Nightingale Apps, is exhaustive. So just choose something that best fits your needs. Self management. So, managing an illness or a condition alone can be pretty scary and also very challenging. It's important to understand that you are never alone. There are support groups for many conditions out there that can be found at your local hospital or a local clinic. And healthcare providers are now with, like I said, applications. They're just a phone call or a quick little message away. It's also important to get other family members involved as a support system and making sure they understand your needs in the event of an emergency. So, finally, I want to cover self care just a little bit. As I stated before, self care falls under this huge umbrella term for just overall care, and healthcare is a part of that. So, a lot of people listening may be in healthcare themselves, or they may be parents, or maybe taking care of an elderly parent. You cannot take care of others if you are not able to take care of yourself. This is the most important thing to remember. Your health, your awareness, and your mental state is important when you are trusted in the care of others. So this means taking mental health breaks or taking mental health days. This means receiving counseling or therapy for issues that you are unable to cope with alone. This means reducing your stress and anxiety, eating right and exercising, finding ways to boost your confidence and boost your brain power, and learning how to relax and take it easy. So this diagram that I have up here, a lot of it talks about how our catecholamines, which are these natural chemicals that are released in our body, they play a part in not only our mental health but our physical health as well. So, we can do things like exercise to release endorphins to make sure that we're feeling happy and we're feeling healthy, or getting enough sleep to make sure that our dopamine, which is another euphoric chemical, is allowed to reset itself and rebalance. Self-care is like one of my new favorite topics, and I could go on about it forever. I just want to tie it up by saying that self-care does not look the same for everyone. So do what it is that's going to benefit you the best. So some important numbers that I feel like everyone should either know by heart, have stored in their phone, or place somewhere accessible. Of course, 911. This is a really great number to have in the event of an emergency. There are some highly trained professionals that will arrive at your front door and take care of you from the time they get to your side until they drop you off at the hospital and even beyond. A lot of these providers are really great about making sure that your needs are met and taking care of you in the best way that they can. So the poison control number, I feel like this is also a great number for, as I stated before, people who are parents or taking care of elderly patients. There are a lot of products on the market right now that are very colorful, very kind of misleading in their presentation, but are super toxic or super poisonous. And if somebody, these things should be put out of reach, but if somebody was to unfortunately get a hold of these things and ingest them, the poison control number is also a very great number to have, and they will walk you through what to do, what not to do, where you should go, and just pretty much how you can manage the situation. Going back to self care and how this is important, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, This is always a great number to have on hand for yourself, for a friend, a family member, for even a stranger that you may encounter one day. They are also a group of highly trained people who are great at knowing how to manage a mental health crisis. So again, this is just a resource that I feel like should be very accessible. And then finally, everyone should have a designated in case of emergency person or your ICE. So this is someone that you designate and you entrust to understand whatever healthcare issues that you have going on. And in the event that you are experiencing an emergency and you are unable to talk for yourself, or you're not conscious, or you're just experiencing impending doom, this person can talk to your providers and tell them a little bit about your history, tell them a little bit about what's going on with you. And this person should be someone who is fairly accessible to where you are, because in the event that they need to rush to your side, this is very important. So I hope you all were able to take away something from this webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below, and I will definitely respond. It was a pleasure presenting to you all today, and I wish you all the best of luck on your self-care and your healthcare journeys. Thank you.